Hey guys, Joey here. I am making a video on cross-axis control. So swapping axes from channel to channel in the Rapido machine. This is done two different ways. One using the G code, which is G110, and a different way, which is specific to the Rapido, not the Mitsubishi. But more the Rapido because it was built by the factory. It's the M108 and the M109. All right, so let's kind of go through this real quick. So the G110 is specific to the Mitsubishi control. Should be compatible with any M700 series. What it does is it takes one axis from one channel and moves it to a different channel. Most commonly, this is done if you want to swap the C-axis from one turret to the other. So if you're working on the turret which is normally working on head 2, which is the turret number 2, which is controlled by channel 2, typically that has control of C2, which is your subspindle rotation, right? So if you wanted to do milling or polar milling or rotational type stuff on your spindle, your main spindle with your lower turret on the Rapido, then you would have to do a G110 and swap the axis over. You could do it long code and just, have a bunch of weight codes in there and have channel 1, program 1 take over anytime that you have to do anything with the C axis. But that's really cumbersome. So the G110 makes it a lot easier. And let's just see. Let's go up here. Stupid thing. There. Okay, so basically you see this C1 is controlled by turret number 1 here. And then over here, C1 is controlled by turret number 2. Right, so these are turning tools, but it's just showing you how C1 can basically swap to turret number 2, which is channel number 2. So let's go down here. Don't mind the bell. Okay, so this is how your program would be stacked, right? You have channel 1, channel 2. I didn't show channel 3 because it really has nothing to do in this scenario. But you would start out with weight codes, right? And then you would have your G110. And after that, you would label each axis that you want that channel to control. So G110 on channel number 1 is going to have X1, Y1, Z1, C2. So it says, hey, I want to control C2. On channel number 2, you do the same exact thing, except you just have a C1. So you have X2, Y2, Z2, C1. And then typically I would put another weight code here after that just to kind of encapsulate that. So there's no, I don't know, I would just do it to be safe. But then you can have your geometry, right? So turret 1 can then go do something on the subspindle, or it could just sit there and wait. And then your geometry for your milling, polar milling, rotations, whatever it is, would all be in head 2, and you would control it just normally. And then after you're done, you would have more weight codes, and then your G110, right? And you would basically just swap it back. So X1, Y1, Z1, C1 in channel 1. Channel 2 would have the same except the 2s. X2, Y2, Z2, C2. So you're saying, hey, channel 2, I want you to be able to control X2, Y2, Z2, C2. You have to do this because you can't have more than one axis with the same letter, right? You can't have two X axes in one channel unless the entire machine is set up like that, which the Rapidos are not. That would be something very specific to the type of machine. So this is kind of neat. So the control will actually show you. So this is how it would be normally, right? You'd have X1, Z1, C1. This was just a picture I ripped out of somewhere. But basically, you would see the X2 or C2, whatever it is, jump over and be displayed under channel 1, $1, axes. So that's a real nice telltale to make sure that you did it right. Here are a bunch of the precautions, for making sure it's all set up right. If I have an issue, then I start reading through these first. But the G110 works pretty flawlessly. I don't think I've really ever had any issues with it. Let's see. Yeah, so those are just all the different things that if you don't do it right, it's going to tell you some different things with parameters, but usually that's all set up from the factory from the get-go, so you don't have to worry about that. All right, so the other way to do it is with an M code, and this is basically every Rapido B436 or B438, which is after 2017 or so. The M108 is basically saying swap, and the M109 is saying unswap. Put it back to the way it was. So you would use this exactly the same way you did with the G110s, right? You would have, right here, you would just have M108, you'd have M108, and then down here you'd have M109 and M109. It just makes it a little bit easier so that someone doesn't fat finger this or change it somehow, because you are swapping axes. So it could become an issue if you fat finger something, right? So the M108, M109 will only swap your C axes. So that's why it's just the most common thing that people swap is the C axis, and that's why the factory built the M code to make it a little bit easier. So there's a couple parameters that you need to check if you have any issues, or you can do it before you even run it just to make sure that there's no issues. The 4 digits following the pound number is the parameter. The T1 or the T2, that has to go with the channel number, right? So that'd be turret 1, turret 2. And the P is the value, right? So 1537 on channel number 1 parameter is going to be X2, right? So it'll make a little bit more sense when you pull it up in the parameter section of the control. And usually I check these beforehand. They should be set from the factory, but if somebody has changed them or if they weren't set correctly, that's the first thing I check if M108 and M109 does not work correctly. So that is it. That is swapping axes on the Rapido. The G110 will work with any Mitsubishi control past M700, I believe. And the M108, M109 is strictly for the Rapido from Eurotech. And that's it, guys. I hope this helps. Thank you.